Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with an interesting video. I've been tagged in this video a number of times. Allegedly, this is one of Jay's friends, and he's got his own theory as to what happened to Jay. I heard the video once. When I heard it, I instantly forwarded it to a few people who are Jay's friends. First thing they said is they don't know who this guy is. I want to listen to what's being said in this video. Let's check this.
Like, I know where Jay was, where he's been, and what he's done. He's left Tenerife. Obviously, this the centre of it. He's gone to Masca in a taxi or in the car, whatever they fucking booked, the fucking rental. Gone back to the Airbnb.
Straight away, he gets it wrong. He says in a taxi or in a rental that they booked. I mean, you should know. If you know what happened to Jay, you should know. You should know if it was a rental. You should know if it was a taxi. Come on, bruv.
He's not gone to sleep because it's been a party gaff. Lucy has been there. Everyone's been there, been partying. Jay has then felt uncomfortable and wanted to go. Ayub has then been like, well, no, don't. Where are you going to go at this time? It's this and that. We'll take it home in the morning. Jay wanted to go. So it's got to, obviously, 8 hours in the morning when it started getting lighter. And Jay's left. Left with a knife. And obviously because he felt scared and he felt he weren't in the right environment in it. And then, obviously, something's been robbed at a club. And there's been a fight. That Ayub has then blamed it on Jay. Jay has then been taken from Masca down towards a dock where the boats are. Ayub, Rocky and Jay have entered a Maruba boat that has been taken from the bottom of the docks all the way.
I mean, this is starting to sound like a movie. There is a part of this, however, that I do lean towards agreeing with. And that's the watch being pinned on Jay. That's the only part of what he has said so far that does slightly make a bit of sense to me. Now, this fight that broke out is extremely interesting. And the reason for that is because the picture of Jay in the back of the car, if that's Jay, in my opinion, he's got a broken nose. His nose has been pushed so far back into his head, that's probably the cause of death. The gap between the nose and the lip is just too far apart for it to be Jay. And we also know that Jay didn't have a tash, even a little bit of a tash. So that right there makes us believe it's not Jay. But if it is Jay, my opinion, the only way it could be Jay is if someone's pushed his nose into his skull. That could have been done with a simple punch, a simple uppercut. Based on how Jay was looking in the nightclub and how waved he was moving, whoever hit him would have been able to hit him precisely and with accuracy, because he would have been just open, not knowing where that punch was coming from. In the last video, we spoke about there potentially being two people who could have stole the watch. And I mentioned those two people to be LK, who hasn't been mentioned by anyone really, and Brad. Let's take ourselves back to that video where Jay jumps over the thing and Brad and Brandon are talking about something, whispering in each other's ear. A lot of people at the time were believing that Brad was pointing to Tom. They thought they saw Tom in the nightclub. But how do we not know that Brad was pointing to the person that they robbed the night before? We've only been a few hours later until them lot got outside, and the people whose watch got stolen would have clocked that that's the people that stole their watch. Maybe, just maybe, that brawl, that fight led to Jay being hit, and that hit ultimately killing him. However, there's definitely something surrounding that fight outside the NRG festival and that watch that's linked to Jay's death. Jay never lost his key. Jay never gave his key to Brad. There was another reason why Ayub and Rocky got Jay in the car that evening. Who was involved in the fight? We don't know. Was Jay attacked through this fight? We don't know. Now, in the mix of all of this, somewhere Jay, in my opinion, has been stitched up.
He hasn't been took to Morocco, took to the slums, tortured, brought back on the boat to the bottom of the ravine, where obviously the CCTV footage shows all the commotion at the bottom. Jay has then been taken up on like a hammock thing and left in the ravine for several days till just be left there. That's exactly what's happened. And
he says that's exactly what happened, as if it's fact.
These guys just want to talk shit and say, oh, fuck the rats, but realistically, they're the rats.
I mean, I do agree with that.
They blamed a watch being robbed and a fight happening on Jay because they don't want the problems.
And I lean towards agreeing with that as well. But everything else that's being said by this young man, I don't necessarily agree with, because there isn't any facts to kind of back that up. One thing I must say is that when you are involved in the watch trade, in the jewelry trade, you have powerful people around you. If they're a big multi-million-pound watch or jewelry organization, and they've definitely got real enforcers, especially in those type of countries, that will do everything in their power to get their assets back. Now, if we actually go back to what Ayub was saying in one of his live streams, I'm pretty sure he was saying that they believed he was the person that stole the watch. So he had to link up with the man the next day, and he's got that all on video. I'm pretty sure he said that. That is the case, and that connects Ayub and whoever Ayub was scheming with to the robbery of that watch. If Ayub's connected to Brandon and Jay was with Brandon, there's a good chance that Jay would have been involved in whatever fight that would have taken place if they were the ones that stole the watch. And if they are the ones that schemed and stole this watch, then they're the ones that have been snaky in the shadows and pinned it on Jay and are directly responsible for the death of Jay Slater. And that's the reason why they're covering it up. It's that incident that took place. That incident that took place with the watch has ultimately led to the death of Jay Slater. Like I've said recently, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be looking at this from a different angle, and this is probably going to be the last angle that we look at it from. Most of the details in that video are not to be believed, but there is one small part that young lad said, and that's the theft being pinned on Jay. It's been a roller coaster of a ride, but it's getting to the point where, you know, the friends, the family, they are truly still being affected by what's being said online, especially when man's talking about being tortured, taken to Morocco, taken to the slums, put on a boat. I mean, come on, it's a lot to take in, especially for family and friends that are still grieving. For us right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're beyond the conspiracies. We're not here to spread conspiracies. We're only here to find the truth as to what happened to Jay Slater. Documentaries are yet to be uploaded, so I'm looking forward to watching those and reacting to those and sharing our thoughts and opinions about the documentaries. At this moment in time, for us who are really invested in this case, really invested in finding out what truly happened to Jay Slater, we've only really truly got one more angle left. Honestly, I feel really positive about this because this is a fact. This is true. This really happened. And Jay was allegedly involved. So we're going to keep applying the pressure. We're going to truly find out what happened with that Rolex, who the Rolex was stole from, who stole that Rolex, who took Jay to that Airbnb, because they're the people that are going to be responsible for the death of Jay Slater. What people don't realize is you wouldn't have necessarily had to have pushed Jay off that cliff. You wouldn't have necessarily had to have taken Jay to that cliff. But for the simple fact that a criminal activity took place that eventually led to someone fearing for their life and them dying, someone has to take responsibility for that. And it's the people that were involved in the stealing of that watch. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we are newly watching. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and we much appreciate every single one of you. So tell every single one of your friends to come and subscribe to the channel. Share our videos as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Share us on every single platform you can share videos on. Leave all your comments down below. You know, I need to know exactly what you guys are thinking right about now. Make sure you go and check out all of our other content, new videos uploading and dropping over the next coming hours and days. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.